Welcome back. Well, they don't call us the City of Good Neighbors for no reason. I'm joined now by Lorna Zarnota with details on an upcoming benefit for a good cause. Hi, Lorna. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course. I'd like you to start off by telling us a little bit about your background as a performer and an educator.
Well, I'm a local storyteller. I've worked with children and adults all across New York State and in many places around the country and in other countries as well. Been doing that since 1985. As an educator, as a storyteller, I do trauma counseling through story. I work with troubled teenagers. I do neighborhood storytelling and book giveaways. Whatever I can do, if somebody wants to hear a story, I have a story to tell them.
Okay. Well, let's talk about your involvement with Buffalo City Mission because you're doing something to support their residents.
I am. We had a wonderful opportunity. I'm also a singer as well as a storyteller, and one of my groups had a wonderful opportunity to go and sing for their residents and for the community that they serve. And I learned a lot about the City Mission in that event. They serve the community with housing, transitional housing, food, clothing. They do so many wonderful things. And when I decided that I wanted to do something for the homeless, the Buffalo City Mission seemed like a very good place to give our money.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what benefit do you have coming up and what's the inspiration behind it?
Well, July 19th at the screening room in Amherst, we are doing a benefit for the homeless. So we have 3 different music groups, a storyteller, and so it is just an opportunity for us to give back to the community through our arts. Mm-hmm. And it really all started in 2016 when I traveled out west. And I started running into homeless people and needy people along the way. And it seemed to be that they were clinging to my coattail because every time I turned around, I was running into somebody new who had a story to tell me. Mm-hmm. And I realized I had an ear to listen. And that is when I kind of discovered that I can't give food, I can't give shelter, but I can give a sense of validation of their humanity by listening to their stories. And a smile, a nod, sharing a story. You know, I've done that as well. So that's kind of what led to the idea of doing this. My very good friend who's also presenting at our event, he's a storyteller, avant-garde storyteller. I'm not sure he considers himself that, but I do. He was doing something in Buffalo in a park, and there was no audience except for a man on a bicycle. And that man on a bicycle was homeless and ran and got several other people who were homeless, and they came and they were his audience. And between that, I was just so inspired to do something. So that's what we're doing.
Well, obviously there's going to be performers, but there's also going to be a raffle as well, right?
We do. We have a raffle of several items from people here, talented people in Western New York. Ann Bishop, who is actually an internationally known fantasy writer, has donated books, and Mike Randall has donated one of his paintings of Buffalo. Dan Gambino, who is a wonderful musician locally, he's a lapidary. He's been working with stone, and so he's donated some of his jewelry. Karamici's Bakery is donating, I don't know, a surprise, but it's going to be wonderful and yummy, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming in and sharing more about this amazing benefit that you are throwing in honor of Buffalo City Mission. We know they do amazing work in the community. And viewers, if you would like to attend, this benefit is happening on July 19th. You can purchase tickets at the door or call the number right there on your screen. It's going to be at the screening room. Thanks again for coming in.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.